Hey, what's up guys? This is my review of the Maven Optics RS.3 5-30x50. First focal plane, an absolute badass reticle, and glass that is at the very top of its class. Yeah, it's spooky. All right, now I know you can't see it well from here, so let's look at it up close and I'll show you how it performed at the range, and I'll be right back. Stick around, stick your ass around till the end of the video. All right, here we go. Now, the first thing that jumps out at you about this scope is the build quality and the way it looks. The one I ordered here, ordered with the silver accents. You can also get it in solid black. All right, I got her mounted up in the fixture. Let's start out by looking at the eyepiece on this thing. It's got a fast focus eyepiece, and again, as you look at it right here, the silver accents on this one really jump out at you. But what's more important is how smooth this thing is, along with the power magnification ring. Everything on this scope screams super high quality. This is the first Maven that I've tested. It will not be the last. There's a quick look at it, moving the magnification from the low end all the way to the high end to give you an idea of what the image looks like. Now, this model has a side focus / side parallax adjustment, and it goes all the way down to 20 yards, and the numbers on it are very, very accurate. Now, like most scopes, I put a real premium on the way the turrets feel and the way they sound as you're adjusting them. Right here, check it out. They're very, very tactile and very audible. Here's a look at it at 100 yards. Now, those three dots, one is 2 mils, the other is 3 mils. From the center dot that I started out on, I'm moving it 3 up and 2 down to make sure that it tracks and repeats, and it does. This thing performed absolutely flawlessly through every test I threw at it. Now here's a quick look at the zero stop. It's really unusual. You just screw it up. It comes with a little tool that's made to fit that. You run it up to 0, and then when you bring it back, it just hits up against it, stops on the dime, works like a charm. And both turrets can also be re-zeroed quite simply. You don't need a tool. You just unscrew it, reset to 0, and you're off and running. Now here's a look at some of the tests that I do when I test these scopes. Here's a look at the vertical tracking. I'm running it all the way from the top to the bottom, and check out how clear the image stays. This thing has a gigantic eye box, especially for its power range and its price range. Now here comes my horizontal tracking. Again, the thing to concentrate on here as you look at this is just how clear the image is. This is filmed through a camera, through the scope, at 100 yards on 10 power, and you can still see how clear that the image you get out of it is. This is what I like to call the old nipple twister. I'm just going insane on the turrets. We're gonna see if it'll come right back to that small dot. Now, a lot of scopes will not pass this test. This is actually the 3rd time that I filmed this because I couldn't get it all synced up. All 3 times it came back to 0 perfectly, absolutely perfectly. Watch this as I bring it up to 0. And again, look at the clarity through that image. That is blown up like crazy at 100 yards on 10 power, and the image is expanded so much it's unreal. And bam, right back to 0. All right, just one more test. On all of my scopes, I do one box test, at least one. I run it in 1 revolution in each direction and make sure it'll return to 0. It's not gonna be a big shock that this thing did because it did everything else just as well. There's one more look at it. Again, I really like the black and silver. This thing also comes with this little scope cover. Now guys, every once in a while, I'll get to test a scope that literally blows me away for its price range. This thing, this Maven, is definitely one of those scopes. Now below you'll see a link to Maven, you'll see all the specs, and you heard about it from a one-eyed fat boy.